Lord. Yeah. It's recording.
All right, 2:09, we'll call meeting to order. We have the full board and Allison and Kendra. There really isn't any public comment unless Kendra wants to say something. All right. So agenda item programming. We're gonna go over the story out concerns from the community. Voice. Hello.
Oh, I didn't make one for Kendra.
I'm familiar with what's on it.
Okay.
Go into private too. Does it matter?
Yeah.
We're not talking about any
Mhm.
employee specific things or.
Yeah.
Making
Yeah.
a decision.
Right.
Um, Did you want to talk about the things that people brought to your attention?
Sure. I had a parent reach out to me and just said they wanted us to know that there were other parents at sports, at baseball, talking about they had seen, we haven't advertised it yet at that point, but that it was being advertised. They had seen it through the drag queens, and some people are not happy about it, and just wanted to bring that to my attention. And then I thought, well, I'm not really ready to talk about this. I don't really know enough about what the program is, why we're doing it, how we as a board and a library would like to present it. We haven't, as far as I know, even put it out there yet to the public. Just wanting more tools to talk about it. I've
Yep.
never seen one before. I really don't know anything about them. I don't know why I should be excited about it, so I'd like to know more. And I also, we were talking about having just, if we are, I really was not ready for that conversation the other day at all, and I think I basically just said, well, please talk to Allison. This person probably just won't come to it, but said there's other people, like there might be like there might be protests. There might be, I hadn't even thought about any of this, but once I started looking it up, yep, like basically I think we need to be a little bit more prepared going into this.
Yep.
Have we talked to the Joe or the select board so their liaisons, so they know it's,
I mean, no, we haven't because
We
we
maybe-
don't talk to them about our programming.
this is a controversial one, so it's a little different,
Yeah, but they don't decide anything for the
Did you
library.
read the article that I
Yes.
sent you?
Yeah.
And there it just said, the only reason I'm saying that is it sounded like might be a good idea, so.
What article?
Did I not send it to you? I don't think I did.
No,
I sent it to Allison to
Yeah.
send
It was
out to
the New York
people.
Times about somebody who had a problematic drag queen story hour.
Yeah, I thought that you guys were gonna send it out too.
No, I didn't know I was supposed to.
Okay,
So,
well, we still can. It's a good article,
Yeah,
just
it
talking
was.
about, just being a little bit more prepared. And I'd like to say it's going to be great and there's not going to be any controversy at all. But you guys seem to think when I talked to you the other day that that's probably not how it is, and that already. So like, I'd like to know more, as a board, how it's going to
Right.
go and what we're going to do to prepare for the worst, hope for the best kind of thing. I don't want to be naive and thinking that there's not going to be anything, because
We,
in
yeah,
Vermont there has been, period,
and
so.
plus we also are in the middle of something rather unpleasant, and we're very aware of it in terms of the ongoing lawsuit. It's very real, and I think we are very sensitive to that and what this could mean. to the-
Yeah, we are
to the-
still involved in a
Correct.
lawsuit right now, and
Yeah.
as far as like how the library is put out there to the public, and how our names are put out there to the public, and I'd rather be a step ahead of it and put it out there, what
Yeah.
what we think we
Yeah.
want, and
Yep.
embrace it and put it out there and let us all know what
Yep.
what our part is in it.
Mhm.
You know?
What I'm curious to know is if this parent actually has spoken to other people, or if they were using that
Mm.
idea of other parents that, they are acquaintances with, like something that I could totally see happening is someone being like, well, other parents agree with me, but they haven't actually spoken to them. I
Yeah.
just assume that
So
because they're friends with A, B, C, and D, that A, B, C, and D all have the same belief system.
Mhm.
Well,
Oh,
they
yeah.
might not.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. Right now, it's one person who's said something. And while that might,
Yeah.
that might be one person and might be 30 people. We don't know.
I think you're right in raising it to this venue so that we are prepared. I think your focus on, let's address it so that we know what our response is, what Ally's response is, when and if it comes up. And if nothing ever comes up and that was one person's opinion, wonderful. We just spent another hour here.
Yeah, and
we had a
it's,
fun time
it's
together.
not one person's.
No.
I mean, you're
No.
right.
No.
I haven't actually talked to other people, and I don't think we should not do it, because there might be a couple people that aren't behind it or don't
Yeah.
understand why yet.
Mhm.
But I think it is out there, so. And the
I-
population, it could be, yes,
Yeah.
this many, so
I mean, it's the only reason I'm saying that is because it is something that, a lot of people have come to with excitement, where I've had almost an exact opposite experience from you,
right.
Mm.
where I have had more than one parent, where I can think of right now off the top of my head, at least 5 or 6 different parents who are very excited about Drag Story Hour.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Hmm.
is that one person really just,
Mhm.
is it one person, or is it really more than that? Because I'm hearing a very opposite reaction from people who that age group is going to be the one
Mhm.
being presented to, not an older age group. And so that's where it's like, okay, the age group that this program is geared for is
I
very
guess I'm going
excited.
back to what you said. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's some yes, some no, whatever it's out there. What are we going to present as a board together?
Yeah.
For all of those people, to tell the people that are excited already why it's so great, for
Mhm.
people
Why are
that
we
don't
here?
understand it or don't know anything about it, why it's so great. I think we need to get it out there, and the program is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We haven't advertised yet either for it.
We have done some soft advertising. They have, what, is there like an organization for their? is
They
it-
have advertised.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, we're on their spring schedule tour
Yeah.
that they do on social media. We haven't advertised on social media at all. We have given out flyers.
I mean, we haven't advertised anything. I haven't seen any summer programs.
No.
What we're doing yet.
You
So
know,
is
we
it
start
about to
seeing-
come out?
This isn't
Yeah.
part of our summer reading program.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
it's
separate.
part of our summer programming.
It was part of our library program, but I wouldn't use the term summer programming because most people associate it with the summer reading program that's incentivized.
Okay, see,
And that
that's
you have to
good
sign
news
up.
already for me.
So
Mhm.
we had that conversation about not making it a part of the actual summer reading program. It's not like a part of that whole thing, so that,
Okay, that's
the
good.
people who choose not to be involved
Aren't gonna
are
miss
being,
it.
they're not being, isolated from that in any way. This is
Right.
just a program that it's not during the summer reading time frame either. The summer reading doesn't start until June 28th.
But great, good.
So
Yes, we did that very purposely. So, do you want to go over some of the stuff that I wrote here?
Yeah.
Would that be a good place
Yeah.
to start? Because there's a lot of great talking points here, and I think that would be, helpful for people who don't, if I need to write things down before I can say them out loud.
And this ties in pretty tightly with the programming. What do we call it that we just looked at?
Policy.
Policy, thank you.
Yes.
Hate those big words.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. What is drag? Human Rights Campaign defines drag as a performance art that uses costumes, makeup, and other tools to present exaggerated forms of gender expression, to critique inequalities and imagine a transformational future where people are truly free in how they express themselves. In short, drag is an artistic way of expressing yourself. I've heard one kid, a friend of mine, her daughter, I had no idea, did a drag camp last summer, and
Oh,
she
you got
came,
Brattleboro.
yeah,
Yeah.
she came home the first day and said, drag is not about becoming somebody else, it's about becoming yourself, which I thought was a great way to explain it. Um, so is this appropriate for kids? Absolutely. As with all library programs, Drag Story Hour is an age-appropriate programming in a safe space. Attempts to sexualize or criminalize this program comes from places of misunderstanding and misinformation rooted in hate. Yes, drag queens might go and do a burlesque show or a drag show, but that is not this.
A different audience.
Yeah, it's a different audience, it's a different program. I can show, I can present 200 programs and they're not going to be the same. And I think we need to think about it in this way too.
Yeah, just like we have the kids' books in a separate room, they're not gonna be walking in there and finding a romance novel, with, they're not gonna find 50 Shades of Grey in the kids' room.
Yeah.
They'll just- Yeah, like.
Here either, but just for literary value.
Ooh.
Yeah, so everything is age appropriate. Kendra and Ellis and I have actually all attended this already, and we've seen their program. It's very much age appropriate.
Main contact, Emoji Nightmare actually was the keynote speaker at VLA last year.
At the what?
At VLA, the Vermont Library Association Conference, so. That was quite a big platform, and she did a whole story hour, like she does for events.
Right, and obviously it must have been great because you guys got excited about it.
Yeah.
And they also,
It wasn't the first time I had been to one. There's been one in Dover before, but it was held privately.
we heard. Just right. What's I gonna say? And they came here to
Yes,
Dover the Moon.
that was a private event,
Right.
personally sponsored.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of misinformation that is circulated. To me, I just think like people in great makeup and great outfits.
Yeah.
And that's, if I can wear makeup, Roger could wear makeup, Laura can wear makeup. I wouldn't actually ever wear makeup, but so is it educational? And that is something we have heard that, a person or two has said, is this an educational program? And yes, it absolutely is. It's a story time. So it's a read aloud, just like any other story time you would have. Story times foster love of reading and early literacy. However, Drag Story Hour also teaches us that you can be anything you want to be. That it's not okay to make fun of someone because they are different. There's no such thing as boy stuff or girl stuff, that you should treat others the way you wish to be treated, and being different is okay. So I think it's even more educational than a regular story time. So what does Drag Story Hour promote? So the motto, libraries are for everyone, is a big motto in all libraries. And we believe that children should be safe fully expressing who they are. At the library, we teach kids that books can be a window or a mirror. Mirror books are books where kids see reflections of themselves. Window books teach us about people who are, who are different than ourselves. Likewise, we strive to present programming that opens windows and mirrors who we are. So Drag Story Hour teaches children to embrace gender diversity in themselves and others, and it's also been proven to help curb bullying of all children, including LGBTQIA plus kids. And then what should parents evaluate when consider bringing their children to Drag Story Hour? Exposure to diverse narratives during story time helps children acquire a lifelong appreciation of literature and fosters intellectual growth. Drag Story Hour helps champion communities of parents that are guided by the hope for a better, more inclusive world for our children. Drag Story Hour helps children to develop empathy, break down stereotypes, and tap into their own creativity. It can be life-changing and life-saving for LGBTQ kids and teens and anyone that may not otherwise see themselves reflected in our culture. And I think in Dover, it's a pretty homogeneous culture. But like overall, we should just remember that this is supposed to be fun. It's just
Yeah.
supposed to be a good time.
Yeah.
We're going to have food. We're going to have, fun people reading to us,
Crafts,
crafts,
always more crafts.
always more crafts. And we just want kids to come and have a
is
good
it in
time.
here
Plan on doing it in here.
or in the children's room?
Or in the children's
Yeah.
room. I was going to make that call kind of as we saw how many people are
How many
coming.
people?
Because the responses that I'm getting, I mean, and I've put it out there to some people I knew that wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten anybody who has said anything about not believing it should be
Might be
hosted
people
here.
that don't come in here that much anyways already, but yeah.
No, some of them are people that come in and they just are like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's not for us. But a vast majority of the people that I've made sure had it on their save the date vibes. I've been very excited, so I am expecting it to be one of our bigger programs.
Great.
And also, just for what it's worth, I have my foot in the door with a lot of the LGBTQ programs down in Brattleboro. I was really involved there, and there's right now a ton of people who are really interested in just coming up the mountain here to
Right.
come to our library for that. Like it's almost insane that like the people who are like, have you heard? Like through the grapevine. So there is a lot more excitement building for this than
So that's why we haven't really felt it super necessary to make it a big splashy, like in everybody's face and putting it on social media, because it does seem that like people who would be interested in coming to it are, finding out about it. So I also don't want it to be a thing where we have like hundreds of people that don't have food for or space. So I haven't like done like a hard like recruiting a lot of people. One of the things at one of my workshops that I attended at Arcel, they talked a lot about having different storytellers come in. And so this is one of the ways that I kind of was heading in that direction. And just for you in terms of, talking to other people, it hasn't been something we've done to have a lot of storytellers come in, but that is my goal for the summer. For our Library Explorers Club, I haven't yet started reaching out, but like having like firefighters come and do a firefighter story time where the firefighter comes and reads. Farmers was another one. I have talked to Lindsay Brown a little bit about doing a farm story time at the farm. Because I feel like that makes someone feel more like a farmer, especially in these parts. You can't just like look like everybody else because that's what farmers look like around here. They just look like everybody else. So it doesn't kind of have the same panache as like the uniformed officer or the firefighter. But thinking outside the box and seeing people in different settings was one of the big things with the storytelling. So that is definitely something that is my plan to work on. This just happened to be
And you have the dog.
and we
person
did,
for
we just
dog,
had
so
the,
that's
we
right
just
in
had
line
the
with.
therapy dog come and they did a story time as well.
Yeah.
So, yes. Having more people and showing kind of the, like, you see people you admire doing an activity and then you're like, oh, cool. Like, I want to be like them and do that too. Like kind of the same way they do it with sports and stuff when they have all the sports people come or in the summer do like inspirational campaigns. You know what I mean? To get kids to do certain activities because like, look, this cool football player does it too. So if you see people you admire reading more, then like it makes reading cool. Kids do not think I'm cool. So me being the reader all the time is not as cool as if we have some guest readers.
Yeah, that's great. I like it.
So, yeah. And then in terms of makeup and everything, it's not really that different than face painting or a juggler who dresses like a clown or basically any other visual performing art. Having and odds are there's more inappropriate things being mumbled during those events than there ever would be. Yeah, your tablet did not come with us today. Just because that's a personality. Yeah. So
Great.
Um,
I need to get
like that, so like you said, trying to increase more diversity exposure,
Mhm.
maybe we could even do more with that. Like I was just thinking about all the like refugees that I think are still in the area that have come in. Sue had a great connection, doing work with them. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
something that we
The
do.
ones who were in Wilmington are gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Brattleboro?
they're in the Midwest, but yeah, I think
Transportation's definitely an issue for individuals in that situation.
yeah.
For the refugees, the Afghani
Yeah.
refugees. I have quite a few friends.
Oh, yeah. I've had the aren't they at SIU?
No, there's a few that have been here actually for a few years, which is why they settled here. That's why there was kind of that draw to settle in
Right,
southern
okay, so
Vermont
there was
because,
already- nice,
yeah,
yeah.
there's already been an established
Yeah.
Afghan
Awesome.
refugee
That's an
population.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I
Anyway.
Let's keep going.
before Katrina, who used to be our yoga teacher, she's fluent in French and Spanish. And before she had her life take her elsewhere, our plan was to have her do bilingual story times. So that's another thing. I think we reached our expiration. I think, did your friends leave? Did your friends leave? Are they still in the story in the kitchen? Why don't you go show them?
Have you done trains
You
yet
wanna
with
bring a
them?
ukulele?
I was saying.
Go tell them that we have a ukulele. Okay, be very gentle, okay? Show them how we're very respectful of our ukulele.
What would you see as our role for the board with something like this? And obviously, real questions, I would think,
Mhm.
would get
Yeah.
forwarded to you.
So support. If
Yeah.
you have somebody give you a phone call and say, hey, why is the library doing this? Say, well,
It's a pretty good outline for it.
it's
frankly.
educational,
Yeah.
it's,
Yep.
so yeah. I did talk to, when I was talking to Lauren Harkowick from the Deerfield Valley News about the IMLS defunding issues earlier in the month. I was talking to her about this program just because her daughter is about the same age as my daughter and we're friendly. Um, not just with the newspaper. So I was like telling her about it and she goes, well, do you want to do a story about it? And I said, yeah, I think we could do a story about it if we want to do it. And she said, well, do you want to do it before or after? Because she prefers to do stories like that beforehand, as opposed to afterward, because sometimes, like if she takes pictures and stuff, she doesn't want the pictures to include kids that their parents might not want their pictures to be in the newspaper and stuff like that. So I thought that might be a good opportunity to jump out in front of it and control the narrative. Yeah.
I think the one place we just were hesitant to really get it out there on was social media, just because it tends to be a place where things can get real negative, real quick,
Mhm.
and where people sometimes don't think before they speak.
Mhm.
I think like the newspaper and like conversations with people, or even just a flyer posted on a community board, I think is more in line with like our town meeting ideas. You know what I mean? Where it's like you still have to remember it's us, it's our community, it's the people we live with that you're. And I think it's really easy for people to forget that. And I think it's also easy for people who aren't actually connected to the area to get involved with social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why kind of waiting.
Yeah.
I guess then when that goes on, like, do you have the ability to take some comments out of there? Like, can you get in there and,
We could, if we do it as an event,
It's a
we
lot to
can.
get through. Usually.
Yeah, and I
can.
think anytime you put something out on social media, you're kind of accepting the fact that it's going to go beyond your control. So I think it's gonna be in our newsletter. I went back and forth on whether or not to send it to the school. And I decided not to ask the school to put it in their newsletter, even though we do often ask them to put stuff, just because this is a very specific event for people who are interested in this specific event. They don't do our Santa thing. They won't advertise that. So it felt like it was more in line with kind of like our Santa advertising, where that is for a specific group of people who have a specific set of beliefs. And since they wouldn't do that, I didn't even put that out there to them.
I think that's a good a parallel analogy to it.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a specific part of our community that, we're responding to and providing what they're asking for. So I think that for them, I wanted to make sure it gets out to the people who maybe would be interested and not expect it here, and who hadn't like thought to ask. Or like the family that she was talking about, that where they went to drag camp, the kid went to drag camp and then came back and was like, oh wow, like this is like something I'm super interested in. And they maybe wouldn't know that like it was an option. So I mean, obviously I want to let people know about it, but I just wanted to be, I don't know if strategic's the best word,
Mm.
about making sure it's not like anybody feels like we're rubbing it in their
Yeah, so you're not
face and
looking to-
or pushing an agenda. Like we're just giving the people what they want.
Yeah.
They want drag queen.
And this is in response to requests that we had to have this program. Likewise, this summer, we're also presenting, we're gonna do line dancing in the
And-
library. Somebody asked for
And
it.
I'm this close to getting Andy Davis here for a family all ages contra dancing thing. I'm just working on the detail.
And we're
of it.
gonna do ASL classes
Yeah,
in the
so-
library. Somebody asked for it.
Yeah, we've gotten to a point now where we have established Ellis and myself here in the library really well, and we got our feet under us, and now people are starting to speak up, and like the Mahjong classes started, and we're kind of in a position to really be very responsive to what people are asking for. So
Great.
it's blooming, in my opinion.
And
Yeah.
I won twice last night.
And you
What?
I won twice
Yeah,
last
right,
night.
wow.
We played 5 games.
Wow.
I did want to address one thing though, that you mentioned, something about safety. And do we have any kind of safety protocol in place for the performers or the attendees of this, and just in case? Because if if something were to happen, even if it's just notifying the Dover PD, hey,
Yes.
there is this possibly controversial event that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
just
think they've unofficially been informed.
They have
just because of
unofficial, because I'm
connections.
good friends with the cops. So
Oh.
it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he,
I think that's important.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
no,
think
I'll
maybe-
reach out to,
I think maybe an official.
Yep.
That's okay. I don't know.
I'll reach out to the chief.
Yeah.
And let him know that,
Yeah.
That would be great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like in that article I was reading, it sounds like you can also, there can be some rules around it about where they can do it. If there's a
Yeah, where they
protest
can,
and
yeah.
how long and all of that.
This is your protesting space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we want to, it's their right to do that too.
Yeah.
Protest
Yeah.
and free speech
Sure.
and, but we want everyone to do it correctly by the rules.
Yep.
Yeah.
And safely. So,
And another point. when
or
we have-
not, and then great, we have, nothing happens and that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Right.
In addition to doing it at 5 o'clock on a Saturday, because that was when they were available on a day they were already traveling and I'm cheap. Like a lot of our more rambunctious children's events, my intention was always to do it outside of normal business hours of our library. I try not to do things like Taylor Swift dance parties and and other rowdy events when people are going to be in the library and potentially wanting to have a more traditional library atmosphere. So we were always aiming to do it outside of the library time, but I think that also further works in favor of people who won't have any interest in it and or would prefer not to have their children exposed to it. If that's their belief, then they would have to go out of their way to be here for that time. So,
I appreciate it. Sounds like you've done a lot of thought. I
Yeah.
appreciate this. I appreciate hearing, like, we just didn't, we weren't there for the event that you went to, we didn't know why and.
and I believe there might, if you want to, I believe there's some of their previous events on YouTube. So if you, but like
I
truly,
had to dig again. I was looking at something,
Yeah.
the volume wasn't coming up for me, so.
truly it is a story. They read a few books, they banter because they're witty, and their books are that they traditionally have read at most of their story times are ones we've already had in our collection. So it's not
Do you know what they're
anything
gonna
off
be
the
reading
wall.
this time?
I can reach out to Emoji and ask. Typically it's like my shadow is the color purple, which is about, I have it in there, a young person realizing that everyone around them's shadow is one color and theirs is a different color, and why am I different, and just kind of noticing their own differences from everyone else and then coming to terms with that. They've read Everybody is a Good Body, another one we have in our collection that just goes through different noticeable differences about people's bodies. Like some bodies are fat bodies, some bodies are skinny bodies, some bodies are tall bodies, some bodies need to stay active, and some bodies need rest. Everybody is a good body, or everybody has a body. I don't even think it uses good. It's very neutral. I actually have already read that for a story time with the school. So things along that. Just Add Glitter is another one, which is just about like zhuzhing life up. Just add glitter. Just add glitter. So stories along that line, which are all stories that we have in our collection, and they make up a small fraction of the many similar stories that we have. Pink is for Everybody. We have all sorts of princess books where the princess is not your traditional protagonist. We have Julian is a mermaid. We have quite a vast collection that has not started recently. It definitely has been represented in our physical collection for quite some time, which I think goes to show that this is not a community request that has come out of the blue. I think it is a community request that was a long time coming, and that maybe people just felt comfortable making the request now, or if it had come in the past, didn't come to fruition. I think that the books we have very much represent a large part of our community. They get great circulation, so it wasn't unusual to me to hear that this was something that people would be excited to.
When does go for school and just kidding.
June 30th.
Okay.
So jealous.
I'm sorry, Twin Valley should not cancel school as often as they do.
Twin Valley finishes the 23rd.
Oh,
Isabel's done this coming Wednesday.
oh. I'm good with the 13th.
Yeah.
It's just in the middle there.
Right?
Hey,
Okay, great. This is, yeah.
Yes.
Their names with the name of the,
Both of them, one is Emoji Nightmare. And then the other performer is Katniss Everqueer.
what was the first part?
Katniss, like
Like the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, yes.
That's our book to movie book club book this
Oh,
month. It's
oh.
Hunger Games. Not even didn't even
Occur to you?
occur to me. We were
Katniss
just
is a kind of popular name over the last few years.
yes.
Yeah. And I love the idea if you felt like you could do an article, like
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
set
Yeah.
the narrative. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I
I'll
was
reach out
thinking.
to Lauren this
Because as much
afternoon.
as we're like not like pushing it on
Right, no, I
people,
think that
I don't want
I think
people
that-
to think that we're like
hiding
hiding
it.
it either,
Yeah.
You know
no.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's,
That's
It's
why
a
I wanted
fine
to point
line.
out that it's really just the social, like, it's not that we're not telling people or not advertising, it's just putting it onto social media is like
I
a very
agree, yeah.
specific
Once it's online.
venue.
it's-
Yeah.
well, it's the newsletters and flyers and the newspaper, then
Mhm.
Actually, the flyer has been up in the lobby on our board for a while now.
It's super
I
cute.
have to actually reprint it though, because I got the logo from One Mountain, who's providing our food. And so I wanna.
yeah, and we haven't presented any of our programs that will be happening in the next few months.
No.
So
We are going to I'm still literally like talking to the woman
wow,
from the
time's
line
flying.
dancing right now.
My daughter's
Yeah.
school kids that just got off the bus. So
Okay.
Okay.
Not my person.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I appreciate you and I appreciate the information.
Yeah, it's part of what we knew that, was something we had put a lot of thought into. That's why I added it to my report that it had been a community request and we were looking into it. I wanted to make sure you guys were looped in. I think since everyone was just like, yeah, I kind of assumed people were more familiar than you guys were. So I apologize for not, that's not what you went to school. Oh, you had a sweatshirt on. That's why I don't recognize you. Okay, let's get out.
Who are you?
No, we're gonna have popsicles with all guys. So there's my school bus is coming, guys.
What, June 14th
Yeah.
at 5 p.m. It's a Saturday.
I just want to make sure this is in my calendar. June.
Oh, shoot, there was something I wanted to. Oh, yes. So in our effort to rebrand our Summer of Happiness, we have put up a "What do you love" sign on the front desk, encouraging people to just write one word on a piece of paper and throw it in the fishbowl, to tell us what you love. And then we're hoping that we can present library programs around those topics. So
So writing, I love lamp does not.
don't write
Well,
lamp.
not what do you love about the library, but what
What do you
in
love?
general.
Yes.
Glad someone picked up on that joke.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, speaking of programming, we talked about having someone come and teach how to use the disc frisbee.
Oh, yes.
We
Yeah.
should do
Let me
that.
reach out.
Because we have such a great collection of them here. Like, I know nothing about it. Do you know someone who could do it?
So Eric was the one who was,
Eric.
DeRocher was the one who was instrumental
Okay.
with doing that. So, I can I'm not sure how to get in touch with him anymore. But
What's his name?
Eric DeRocher,
Let me see. Is
My
he a
friend
big guy?
Heather,
he just resigned. He was on the economic
Okay.
development. I can reach out to
she's
Shannon.
pretty busy, but I'm like, I wonder if she'd be interested in coming.
I'm sorry, who?
My friend Heather, she used to, own the Sticky Fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Also I think the minister at the church is very,
Jeremy,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, my husband knows him.
okay. Maybe reach out to him first,
Yeah,
and then I'll tell Heather she could come too,
Okay.
but-
yeah.
info@discgulfvermont.com. His name is Chris. Tell him Dan Day referred you.
Okay, hold on a second. Info at,
discgulfvermont.com.
and say that,
Dan Ney. Last name is spelled Ney. Referred.
I like her idea of the storytelling and different people. I was like.
I had contacted Dan back in November when we first started talking about this.
who else?
And so I was like, wait a second, hold on. I have this info somewhere. Okay, what email did I get? Oh my gosh.
What time is the,
I think
Thing on the
that's how I got
14th.
interested.
5 p.m.
5 o'clock, that's right.
There were storytellers here at the library.
That's cool.
Absolutely. That's how I branched off into traveling the world, was from the library.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think like, let's bring more people in that have,
Yeah,
or who have traveled and can
Mhm.
talk about
Yeah.
it.
and yeah, and more different people too. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and just, apropos of nothing, I have gotten all the things to hang art on the wall
Oh,
for like $100. So,
cool.
yeah.
Excellent.
Good job. Thank you.
Now I just have to do the contacting of people.
I have to re-find it again, but I found, it was from the war through how they worded it, reaching out to people to bring their art to have shows at the library.
Yeah,
I'll find it. And I found information about my mom's work for that show too, that I could maybe rework so we could
yeah,
have it here if you wanted.
nice, yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions or comments on this? Does anybody feel more comfortable now with it?
Yeah, I think that was very helpful.
Yeah.
Next time I'd say maybe just do it at the
Yes.
beginning. Don't assume that people that we know
Yeah.
anything about any of the programs. I mean, if there's anything that needs just a little bit more,
Okay,
I know it,
Yeah.
Programming is in your what you do,
yeah,
but it does help to have the board educated and on board with whatever we're going to be doing,
all right.
you know. Yep.
I'll be prepared with a history of line dancing.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, like, she shared quite a bit about the dog before the dog came.
Yeah,
Um,
That was a great program, by the way. I brought Coral to it. Did you see the pictures?
no,
Oh my gosh. She took this really cute picture of
Yeah.
Coral reading to the dog.
I did see it. I did
Yeah.
see the-
do
yeah.
not tell my daughter that happened.
Yes.
Sweet,
So
not come. She would be so mad.
And then you got a band for the
Yes,
very,
Allegra Larson is going to be doing
Oh.
dessert social.
Oh, I love Allegra.
Her and one other person. Her whole band wasn't available.
and
that
we're
night.
gonna have that advertised with Janet. You're already in
I'm already in touch with
We're on
Janet.
it.
Janet has,
all the million of events for Blueberry Week here at the
We-
Dover Free Library.
I'm finalizing that right now with her, but we changed, it's on a Wednesday this year instead of a Thursday because the Deerfield Valley Community Partnership that does that like family fun frenzy they do bounce houses and stuff on the field in Wilmington. They changed their day to Thursday, so we're changing to Wednesday, and they're not doing the comedy show this year.
Okay.
So we've already collaborated and everything. So,
Hopefully it's an equally good night. I mean, I can't see how it would be.
yeah, I mean,
We'll give it a shot.
there's gonna be dessert and music and fun. So,
Sold.
Are you doing the competition again this year?
yes, we are gonna do the competition.
I know, I've already been researching.
It's not,
to do.
it's not gonna be blueberry centered
Oh.
this year though, because the summer reading theme is Color Our World.
Oh.
We're going to have color categories based upon your fruit choices or dessert choices.
Or all of the colors.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, we could have like a rainbow category.
Yeah.
I was about to say
I thought-
rainbow sorbet.
I haven't worked it all out, but
Chart with all of your-
Wednesday, and Wednesdays I'm available.
perfect.
Thursday I never could.
Yeah.
So I would bake a dessert, which I still will.
I have to make sure
I
everything.
thought you were gonna say, I'll judge. I will judge.
Way too much eating for me.
I do need judges, so if anybody
I'll
wants
judge.
to judge.
I know me, I'll be like, everyone sucks, my kid's the best.
What's the date for
It's the last Wednesday in July.
that?
You had a lot, right?
There was a lot last year, a lot.
Yeah, there's
That
a lot of
was-
stuff going on at that.
No, and a lot of desserts.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, yeah.
There were a ton, and I didn't even feel like we did like that great a job advertising it. So I was really pleased with the number that we had.
I was blown away by how many.
It's the
Yeah.
30th.
And did the judges judge all of them? Like, if you have that many, maybe you break them down.
We
like,
broke them into 3 categories. We had 3 businesses who put something in, and then we had adults and we had kids.
But the
So
judges, did they have to eat everything?
they did.
Yeah.
Maybe we split up the judges. At the Deerfield Valley Fair, they used to have like judges for the adult one.
Yeah.
Judges for the kids one. Um,
Vicky, Randy Capitani was one of the judges. and
Yeah.
He just goes, I can't believe I don't have diabetes
Yeah.
after that.
Right?
He said he walked home because he needed to digest.
Oh, funny. All right, anything else about programming you want to share with us and anything else?
No, we have,
Bring line dancing in, I like that.
yeah, somebody requested it.
At the
and-
town hall? you-
No, we're gonna do it right in here to start with, and then if it gets too big for here, we'll go there, but,
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be
Line
on
dancing in the
Monday.
parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
Just across, just line all the way across.
It's gonna be Monday evenings.
Oh, it's gonna be like every Monday evening.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're gonna do I think we're gonna do it for 8 weeks, and then,
Be able to make one of those.
Night Joe.
yeah.
And how are, like, who's gonna, like,
So Green Mountain Line Dancing is a company, and she is teaching a class in Stratton too. And so I got her name through that. They used to do it at OSAC at the old school in Wilmington when they first started using that as a community center. The person who does it is no longer available to do it. She's no longer in the area. So I found this other person to do
is
it.
there a big cost with it?
There is a cost with it. Yeah, it is $150 a class. So I'm going to try to encourage people to donate when they come for the
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
So, which I don't think is
Can we do it for
unreasonable.
less Mondays, like just instead of 8 to?
We could, the people who have asked me to do it, I've had several people ask me and they are very excited about it. So if,
Okay,
she-
and we have enough in our
If
budget for
we
it?
should have enough in our budget for
Okay.
it. We've eliminated some other things, so
I don't
hopefully.
think anybody would have a problem donating $10 or $15 for a
Mhm,
dance
right,
class.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
a good sign at the bucket for donations.
absolutely, yeah.
That'll help defray a lot of that.
Well, maybe put it out there in the advertising that we're actually looking for.
Yeah. You just put like donations, like by donation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yep.
hope people,
Because I've noticed with yoga, some people do, some people don't.
some people do it like once a month, some people do it every time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends, but,
Hmm.
and the ASL is, the sign language is free because we're doing it through the Udemy subscription with,
Was it with Bill Vickers program?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
When is
I
that
think
gonna
Bill
be?
Vickers.
Starting the last Tuesday in June, which would be the 24th.
And what time of day is it?
It's going to be at 6, I think.
And the line dancing?
It's either 5 or 6.
And can you come, do you have to say ahead of time? Can you drop in?
No, you can just drop in. You don't need to-
Okay,
to
great.
reserve.
All
Yeah.
right.
The sign language, we are gonna ask people to like kind of commit to it because we can print out the books, so they're free,
Mm.
but they're 113 pages long. So if I print out this huge book for somebody, I want to know that they're going to attend. But since it's free on the Udemy site, that's available to all patrons of every library in the state. So if you miss coming to it, we're going to sit here together and do the class on the screen. But if you are on vacation or something, you miss it and you want to make it up, you can do it at home too.
Nice.
And that's for 8 weeks. You're doing it?
It's like a 25-week program. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think we're going to do it as long as people want to do it.
I was gonna
That's
say, if you want me to show up for that and help out with hand sign, like with hand forms and the face morphemes and all that, I can.
If you want to.
Educate. That way you get a little, sometimes it's hard watching it on the screen.
Yeah.
When you see someone doing like the G
Yeah.
and then like versus Q and you're like, oh, was that,
Yeah.
it's like at the angle. So, yeah.
I often wonder about doing things backwards too, because
Yes.
there's,
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you think this is like amazing? You have so much lined up. It's
Really
really
is,
great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, back to, I'm always like to promote. Do you think in addition to like an ad, which you normally do an
Yeah.
ad, that we could also do kind of like the Petty Libraries had lately, where they have a list like not necessarily an article, but this is what's happening
Yeah.
at the
So we're
library.
trying to work on doing more like individual press releases for like
Mhm.
big programs. And then, yeah, I would like to do like little articles too about like that they press release articles that, like, hey, we do yoga now every Friday. We do,
Yeah,
line dancing
yeah,
on
because
Monday.
and the sign language, like that's
Yeah,
Mm.
we'll do a
great.
bigger ad for July and August. Um, we usually do a bigger ad for dessert social. So
what is the kickoff for the kids program this summer?
the kickoff party is on the
Adding all this stuff to my calendar.
28th.
Oh, your roll.
Sorry.
And
So,
what is it?
uh, you have to ask Kendra. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Um,
I'll ask her.
is it the glow? It might be the glow dance. We might be doing a glow dance part. I think we might be doing that because we didn't want to do too many dance parties with having Andy come and do the contra dancing
Mm.
too. They couldn't seem to schedule it right, so they were stretched out.
So he's coming to do contra dancing, and there's also the line dancing.
Yeah.
The
The
stupid.
contra dancing is folk music and it's for kids. It's geared towards kids. The line dancing is going to be geared towards adults.
Great.
They did it I guess they did a class at Dover School and all of the kids really love doing it now. I don't know, did Seppi report back on that? No.
He was great.
Yeah,
He was great. Yeah.
I think adults are excited.
Oh, and
about
they
it
did
too.
it
I
as
think-
part of school sing. Yeah, Corey was
Yeah.
there for it. And she said everyone had a great time.
It was fun.
Did he come for it? Did Andy Andy
Yeah,
Davis
he was
came?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
for
oh.
school singing that day.
I was not made aware that there was going to be dancing by the parents.
Yeah.
So I show up and I'm wearing like a skirt and I was like, oh, this is fine. I'm old school sing. Love this. And like all of a sudden they were like, and the parents. And I was like, oh, whoa, guys. Here I am trying to look cute. This is not going to go over well. It was fun. It was fun though. He made it very easy to follow.
He's great.
Yeah.
He was great with the kids. The kids had both had that.
A lot of experience.
Yeah, so much.
So
What kind of music is Allegra Larson?
She's like really almost like folksy, kind of like bluesy is the best way to describe. She's she's got a really pretty voice. Yeah, Coral loves her. My daughter loves her, and like whenever she's performing, she's like, so it's
So this is a mixed like family, adult and kid.
Yeah, yeah, it's all ages.
Oh,
Great. Wonderful. Okay. I mean, I can always come up with more questions.
Okay. From here until 5 or quarter off at least.
Like
Pick up
meeting
them.
wise, how do you feel?
I think it went well. I think, I mean, as long as you feel comfortable with being able to talk to people about it now,
Yep.
I think that was the main thing we wanted to cover.
If I have more questions, I'll ask. Alex.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you know where to find me?
Need a motion to close? Move.
Second.
All in favor?
right.
Bye.
All right, meeting adjourned 3:02.